Welcome, everyone, to People on Dating. I'm your host, Will Morales. And for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, this podcast is about the ups and downs of dating and how to navigate through it. Today, my guest is Michael Allison. Today's topic is to go into do's and don'ts on dating. Let me tell you a little bit about Michael. As a U.S. Marine combat veteran, thank you so much for serving.
Thank you.
Entrepreneur, motivational speaker, Michael's journey through life has provided him with unique insights into relationships, love, and the challenges of navigating dating. Beyond his professional experience, his personal life has included the ups and downs in love, including the unique experience of marrying, divorcing, and remarrying his wife. Courtney, this is a good one. Yeah. This has given him a profound understanding of what it takes to overcome relationship hurdles and build something stronger. Michael, thank you so much for being on People on Dating. How are you, sir?
Hey, well, it's an absolute pleasure to be here, man. Thank you for having me.
No, it's my pleasure. So, Michael, tell us a little bit about your journey. You're a veteran. So, tell us, like, how did you get here to today? We're going to talk about do's and don'ts in dating, but what was that journey like for you?
Yeah, most definitely, man. So I'm a kid that grew up in Jamaica, raised in Miami, Florida, and had opportunity to go out and serve our country in the military. Had a chance to tour Iraq and served in quite a few different places, man. And from there, I transitioned out of the military and had a chance to work in corporate America and had a chance to get to taste what that was like. So I worked for the government, worked for a university as well, too. And after doing that for a time or two, I said I want to get into entrepreneurship and get into business based off all of the things that I've learned throughout the military, everything that I learned from some of these corporate organizations. And that's when I bought a franchise and started running a construction company. Did that for a while, but truly didn't find any meaning or purpose that was tied to it. So I said, let me take all of my 20 years of leadership skills and all of the training and all of the things that I've been through, some of the adversities and challenges in my life and apply that to the business that I do have now, which is the Adversity Academy. And I found that to be the most rewarding in everything, single thing that I do, because now I get to coach people and train people and speak to people, put my books out and stuff that I have going on in regards to all of the adversities that I've been through in my life and show people how to be much more resilient in what they do now in their professions, in their career. Because I do personally believe that personal development and professional development do coincide and go hand in hand.
Right, right. That's some journey. When I'm reading your biography, right, a little bit about your bio, you divorced your wife, you got back together, which is a great thing. Obviously, there was something there still together. And today's topic is a good one about do's and don'ts of dating. Michael, in your venture outside of, let's say, professional, your business and all that, has dating, what's the word I'm looking for? Is dating dead? I'm just gonna say it's straight out of what I see out there, what I read out there. It's both sexes have made astronomical demands on each other, and men are not approaching women. Women complain that men are not courting anymore. What are you seeing out there?
Yeah, what I'm saying, it's a complete different aspect right now. In this day and age, I do think women are a little bit much more independent when it comes to what they're doing with their careers, their finances, their household. There's so many different things out there for single women too, as well, in regards to like making it. And now that men are really driven in regards to like what this world has to offer them too now. So kind of like if you really want to be with someone, you truly have to be intentional, or else you'll be operating in silos. You know, for myself, when I was getting ready to start dating, when I got out of the military, I started looking at dating apps and stuff like that because I didn't have the time to actually go out and meet someone face to face or anything like that because of the job and the career that I was pursuing and what I was doing. So it was much more easier when it came to the app and just identifying who you like, who you don't like, who you want to meet, who you want to date, get on the phone, get a call, and see if there's any mutual interest there and kind of take it further from there. And that's how I met my wife through a dating app.
Ah, okay. Obviously it worked. So, so, um, so let's go with some of the do's and don'ts, in your opinion, Michael. So let's go with a couple of the don'ts. Like one of the things some of the women have been telling me is that sometimes men tend to pour out um their heart on the first date, and now there's no you get to know them on the first date, so there's no mystery. Is that part of the don'ts, or if you have a little bit of, maybe your list, please, and then we go to the do's.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely one of them. I do believe that when you're trying to court someone and getting to know someone, I think you got to be a little bit much more subtle in regards to just like a full out fledge and just doing a brain dump in regards to that first time that you're dating with somebody, man. So for me, I would say there's a couple things that I would recommend as a don't. The first one is that don't talk about your past relationship too much because when you're trying to divulge your past and all these different things the other person is there actually truly analyzing and kind of seeing themselves in some of these scenarios and situations that you're talking about. And eventually, what you'll find is whenever you get in these types of conversation, it often turns into like a bashing of the other person in regards to what happened to you in the past. And you're there in the present and you're there in that moment with that person. And quite frankly, that person don't really want to hear that stuff anymore. As in,
Yeah.
have you moved on? Have you gotten past your past? And are you ready to move forward? One of the next things I would share is that, you know, for you, you got to understand and identify like what do you truly value, what do you truly identify, and I say that in regards to like staying true to yourself because you'll be someone if you'll be so enamored in regards to like maybe looks or finances or careers, and you ignore all of the red flags that you may even come across on the first go around. And when you miss some of those red flags, and all of a sudden you get past the 30 days, the 60 days, or the 90 days, you're just like, oh damn, I didn't know that I didn't like that. Oh damn, I should have seen this. You know what I mean? Those types of things. So that's one of the things. So make sure you're fully present and fully aware and know like what you're truly looking for. One of the biggest questions out there, people really do not know what they want. And if people really identify what they want, they're really quickly identify red flags to see if this is the true match or not. Another one I would say is that is the pressure for commitment too soon. And maybe you just need to date for a little bit and identify like, hey, let me see how far this go. And that kind of like coincide with what I just said previously,
Yeah.
but let me see if this is the right person, if this is the right fit. I've been one where I'm immediately dating someone and all of a sudden we commit too soon and all of a sudden we realize like this is probably not going to work. Or you may be dating someone and you realize that you know what? I really don't like their friends. You know what? I don't think I jive well with their family members. You know what? I've been to their house and I really don't like their house or how they keep their house, or I don't like certain types of situations and scenarios and things like that. And then you got to realize, is this a deal breaker for me or not? Or is this something that I could deal with or something that we could communicate on and negotiate through that too as well? The last thing I'll point to is that but where are you at when it comes to like your level of maturity? And I say that in regards to like at a certain age or a certain stage in a relationship, some people are tired of like either being manipulated, being lied to, the games and things like that. So it's important for you to be directly genuine, be directly honest, and have interaction in regards to like you're just being truly that person that you are that you plan to be for the rest of your life with the person in regards to like who you are now. Obviously, there's going to be growth, but there should not be any level of regression or anything where you're playing with people's emotions, their lives, their finances, their families, their friends, things that are very truly important to people because sometimes those could end adversely for you too as well.
Yeah, no, some of the points you made are right on. And one of the things I wanted to talk to you about, Michael, how important is when you're talking to someone, right, that you listen, not hear them, but listen. Because, case in point, myself, I remember I was talking to this woman and she revealed her red flags like right up front. But I heard about it, I didn't listen. And then went down the road, I started seeing them, and then I'm noticing, I'm like, oh my gosh, he told me this early on, and I should have ran the other way, but I ignored it because I was single, single for a while, and I did like her, but I just ignored the red flags. And then it just ended miserable.
hmm
We haven't spoken to, I could say like a couple of my exes I still talk to,
hmm
very rare. But this one I haven't talked to in the last 5 years. And if I do see her, I would be cordial and things like that. But uh yeah, so that's one, right? How important is to listen, not hear. And number two, do you need to become friends at least at the beginning, but you don't want to get in the friend zone? Because if you're not stating your attention to the woman, now she might perceive you as, oh, he's like a buddy of mine. So those are like two-part questions for me. Let's go with the listening and hearing. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I think it's imperative that you listen carefully and keenly in regards to like what are some things that are really like making sense to you, and it touch bases on some of the things that are red flags for you. Because if you intentionally start listening to what someone is saying, your brain is internally like receiving that, right? And you're processing that and you're thinking, is this something positive? Is something negative? Is something going to hurt me? Something I should run away from? Does any of this make sense? So it's extremely important for us to identify those things, especially when it comes to listening. I was thinking about as you were talking to me about that, when I met my wife, I realized when we were talking and we were communicating that her love language is someone that is like, that likes touch, someone that likes you to hold her hands and those types of things. And I
Yeah,
miss that. And I say that because I'm someone that was not really touchy-feely, especially someone that served in the military because
right.
we didn't come up that way.
Yeah,
And we had to have a talk and have a conversation in regards to that. Like, I like it when you hold my hands. I like it when we're in bed and you're like holding me, or I like it when you kiss me, or if you come in the kitchen and you just say, "Hey, good morning, how's your day?" Give me a kiss and before you walk out the door, those types of things, opposed to
yeah,
just saying, "Bye, I'll see you later." You know
yeah,
what I mean? So those are some things that I really had to pick up on in regards to like understanding what was truly important and what she truly valued in regards to like our relationship. And then the next thing I would talk about is, when it comes to the relationship aspect, for you as a man and you're in this relationship, you got to make sure that you identify your boundaries in regards to like where things are for you as well too. Because if you do things out of your boundaries and go out of their boundaries too as well, those are some things that you got to make sure you pay attention to as well.
yeah. And it's funny because I did have certain boundaries with this lady, but I didn't have financial boundaries.
Hmm.
And there was a lot of money I spent that I look back and I'm like, what the hell was I thinking? But, you got to live and learn.
Yeah, yeah.
Like my other point was, um, when you first meet, can friendship be a part of the dating ritual? Because I don't want to end up in the friend zone. You know what I mean? So go ahead, Michael. I can see.
No,
And
man.
that's tough. And that's tough because you want to show that you can listen, whatever. But because there's been a couple of times I ended up in the friend zone. And I'm like, how the hell did I get in here? And like Chris Rock said one time, "Oh no, I'm in the friend zone." So yeah, go ahead, Michael. And we're
No,
talking with
man.
Michael Allison. Today's topic is the do's and don'ts of dating, and we're doing so far some of the don'ts. So go ahead.
No, man, you definitely do not want to be in the friend zone, man, because if you put yourself in that situation, it's kind of hard to retreat back out of that, man, because
I agree.
when it's time to show your affection or your emotion and those types of things, you kind of get like weird vibes and weird look and those types of things. Or let's say it does not work out, then those awkward breakups kind of like go that way in regards to like still be friends, those types of things. And
Yeah.
realistically, those things could affect your next relationship that you even get into if you like try to keep those types of friend zone types of relationship. But I think it's important to have some level in regards to like what are some things that we mutually agree on, mutually things that we do like, right? Because I don't believe you and your partner is going to 100% be in tune with every single thing that you like, as in like I like football, my wife does not like football, that type of thing. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But that doesn't mean that we still cannot be together. But if you decide to get with someone, it's extremely important for both of you guys to totally understand like we're in this in regards to like trying to form a relationship in regards to either taking it from boyfriend and girlfriend after dating, then to eventually if you wanted to get married, then choosing that path.
Yeah.
But once you guys get together, then obviously then there has to be some form of a understanding or mutual relationship where that we're gonna get along, right?
Yeah.
So that's the biggest concept to that is like how do we get along? How do we communicate respectfully amongst each other and still love each other? But if you take it to the friend zone, then you guys will say certain things around each other where like it may not even be cool to say certain types of things. You guys may do
Yeah.
certain types of things in regards to like maybe some things you probably do with your homeboy that you really wouldn't want to do with your girl. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You don't want to take it to that level because it's a different level of respect when it comes to that part of the relationship.
So should you uh show your intention at the beginning that, hey, I don't want to be friends. I want to take this to another level? Let's do some of the do's then.
Yeah.
Would that be part of one of the do's is like state your intention. This is what I want. I'm not looking. Yeah, so go ahead.
Number one is be yourself. And when
Yeah,
I say be yourself is you got to be straight up honest and just being having that level of authenticity and just stating like the key foundations. What is it that you really want within this relationship? What is it that you truly want in this connection? And just stating that off the top in regards to like I want this to be a relationship. I want this to for us to date, then eventually take this to either if it's whatever time frame that you guys think is fair enough in regards to like, hey, this is let's take this to the next level in regards to like getting serious, or if it's just solely just going to be me and you dating and working on this relationship and
yeah,
building it from there to the point of where I could potentially propose to you if you choose to get married. But up front, you got to be yourself. Do not try to be someone that you're not that you see from social media. Don't try to be someone you see from TV. Don't try to be something. Sometimes we kind of like course correct too. So like I was this way in the past relationship, so let me try not to be like this way in this past relationship. Kind of like still truly be who you are. Obviously, there's a level of growth in regards to like your maturity and some things that you could do better.
yeah,
But at your core, if you're a certain type of way and a certain type of person, you got to be genuine to who you are in regards to that person accepting you and loving you for who you are. Don't try to be some other person that you're not. And then 3 months later, 4 months later, she finds out that you're a fraud. And then obviously, like, this is not the guy I fell in love with. This is not the guy that I like. So that's number one that I would say to you is, all right, be yourself. The next thing I would say is be honest. If a person is around you long enough, they'll start finding out your lies. They'll find out some things that you're covering up. They'll find out some things that you're not trustworthy about. And it could be your family, your exes, your finances, your friends, your history, whether you've been in trouble with the law, your credit, you name it, whatever it may
yeah,
be. Of course,
yeah.
if you wash your dishes, if you do the laundry, how you sleep on the bed, all of these different types of things, and if you put on a front, eventually you will get discovered and will get found out, and it could eventually could be a turnoff for the person. So it's very important for you to do that too as well. And you mentioned this earlier, man. I think the listening aspect really people want to get have connection, and when you talk about connection, it's where they want to connect with you is through emotions.
Right,
And when you're connecting with people through emotions, it's through listening because in a relationship, people are going to tell you their thoughts, their feelings, and what they're dealing with and what they're going through. So you as that partner, are you empathetic in regards to understanding what's going on, trying to meet their needs? Can you meet their needs or not? Maybe you cannot meet their needs.
right.
So it's important for you to start having some listening around that part, man. The other thing I touch on, man, is what we said earlier too as well, is the boundaries. And the boundaries could be, have you identified what is William's time and what is your time? What is times with my friend? What is times with my family? What is time when I need to work? What is times with my phone calls, my text message? All of those different things that you highly, 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 truly value and truly respect. Because if someone doesn't know what your boundaries are, it could eventually lead to a turn off to the point of like, you don't want to be around this person anymore. So you
Yeah.
really need to identify some of those things in regards to identifying that.
Wow. That I mean, and people when they get to this episode on YouTube, listen to what he said because a lot of this, my God, we know it, but we just don't implement it. You
Mhm.
know, if that makes sense. I think the stating the intentions up front. I think a lot of us, I know I've done it where you want to be their friend and not show interest, and then all of a sudden you end up in the friend zone and just be yourself and all that. And it's funny, Michael. I remember I went to a few speed dating events.
Uh-huh.
And there, your intention is to meet someone. And I remember a couple of times, I think the organizer always says that if you like someone, you know, write it down and then they email the person.
Hmm.
On two occasions, Michael, I just went straight out. I said, listen, I know I'm not supposed to do this, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to pick you. If you're interested, fine. If not, we go our separate ways, but I'm going to pick you. And
Hmm.
it worked because that same lady that I told that to, end up picking me. And I was
Uh-huh.
just being honest. I'm like, you know what? I'm not here to play games. This is what I'm interested in. And I
Hmm.
think a lot of guys um, don't want to say these things because I think they don't want to get rejected. How do we deal with rejection, Michael? Because that's always a tough one for guys.
Hey man, to be honest with
It's
you,
part of life, I know.
it's a part of life, and that's something that you truly have to deal with. But that says something to you to that says something about yourself in regards to like your level of confidence when it comes to rejection. So
Yeah.
that's something for you that you got to really truly work on before you even start dating. Because if you have not dealt with rejection, if you have not dealt with that level of going through tough times and being resilient to deal with those types of things, then when you get into the relationship and something bad happens, something negative happen, or it could be during sex, it could be at dinner, it could be a phone call, those types of things.
Yeah.
And if you cannot deal with that, it's going to show up in the relationship and it could be something negative that hurts you. So I would initially tell you that if you cannot deal with rejection, then you got to work on yourself personally first to handle some of those types of things. Because I'm going to say when it comes to rejection, I probably used to be like that in the past, but I'm to the point now where like I'm like over it. And I've learned from every single like mistakes, every single rejection, every single negative thing that happened to me in regards to like moving on to the next. Because you could also look at it from the standpoint of that's that person's loss. Because if you know deep down that you're a great guy, you're a great person, you have a lot of great things going on, you have lots of things that you're trying to aspire to accomplish. And if this person cannot see that value inside of you, then that was their loss, and that's something that they missed out on. So you should never worry about those types of things in regards to like you feeling smaller or you feeling rejected in regards to like your value and your worth to yourself and the value that you're going to bring in regards to like that partnership of that relationship too. So I would never worry about any of those types of things. It's more so of you just going, learning from that and getting past that and just getting past that hurdle. The worst someone is going to tell you at most is no. That's it.
And
That's
oh, and you got to say next. That's it,
next.
right?
That's it,
Yeah.
man. You know, and
Yeah.
that's what it comes down to.
No, I appreciate that. Well, first of all, Mike, I want to thank you so much for being on People on Dating. And before I let you go, anything else you want to talk about or promote or any up, because you got a couple of books in you, you got a couple of TEDx talk in you. So, maybe you got that coming up.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, man. So, as a keynote speaker, I get to travel this world and get to share my story of some of the things that I've been through in my life and make an impact with people, man. So I'm getting ready to speak here with United Way, getting ready to speak with
Nice.
Microsoft in the next couple of months, and also getting to speak at the Pet Forum to deliver three phenomenal keynotes in regards to shattering your limiting beliefs and just overcoming adversity in your life. My next book is called Break the Bottle. We're getting ready to release that in April. Can't wait to
Nice.
read that, man. That's one of the books that is really near and dear to me, man. I had to get a chance to tap into some of the things that's your brain and how it functions in regards to like your neuro-linguistic programming and some of the like limiting beliefs that we actually tell ourselves, and it keeps us away from accomplishing our goals. And kind of like what I meant to you, said to you, was the number one questions that a lot of us fail to ask is like, what do we want? And that book really identifies that in regards to like giving you some clarity and some alignment and trying to get to your destination in life, man. You can always find me at I am Michael W. Allison on all social media platforms and on my website, michaelwallison.com too as well, man.
Yeah, I'll definitely put on the show notes. Well, again, Michael, I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. And thank you so much again for being on People on Dating.
I appreciate it, man. It's been a blessing. Thank you.
Yep, my pleasure. Bye bye.